Hello and welcome to Kent Tonight on KMTV. I'm Josie Hannett. Coming up in the programme, Kent reacts to Theresa May's call for a general election. Investigation continues into pub fire. And two brothers impress with carpool karaoke. But first this evening, Prime Minister Theresa May made a shock announcement today, calling for a general election. Speaking outside number 10 Downing Street this morning, she gave the news despite previously saying the election wasn't necessary until 2020. KMTV's Andy Richards has been getting reaction from Medway Labour leader Vince Maple.
So Vince, over the last couple of years, we've really had a huge amount of political stories. We had Brexit, we had Trump, now a snap general election. What have you made of it today?
Well, I mean, I think there's a few things to look at here. Firstly, from my perspective, like many people across Kent, they will feel lied to. The Prime Minister said so many times since she went into that post last year there would not be a snap general election, it'd be the wrong thing for the country. Suddenly, over her Easter eggs, obviously she's decided something different. And if someone can't be trusted even on a date, let alone how they're going to run the country, people have got cause for concern. So when you look at that kind of basis of why the election's happening, that we're supposed to be doing things in the national interest, I'm concerned this is all about party politics and nothing else. That said, we're going to have an election that will be confirmed tomorrow, almost certainly. All the main political party leaders have said that will now take place. June the 8th will be the day. And as you rightly say, we've seen a lot of politics in Kent over the last 2 or 3 years. Everything from MPs defecting to by-elections to general elections. So if some people have election fatigue, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm really pleased that we're going to be having the opportunity to put forward the alternatives that we would have as a Labour Party for this country and our county.
But it really isn't long. It's only 6 weeks out until to the election on the 8th of June. She's announced that she'll be going for. What kind of state's the party in? Are you really in a position to be going at a general election? Is your leader electable?
Look, I've got every confidence in Jeremy Corbyn. I will be there working every day between now and June the 8th to make him our next Prime Minister.
But is that enough, really, to be just saying, well, we'll work really hard to try and make it happen? Can it actually happen?
Well, it's about the policies, and I think the thing to remember, and this is really important, a general election isn't a single issue referendum, as we saw last June. Clearly, the different views on the European Union and what happens next will be part of the debate over the next 7 weeks, no doubt about it. But actually, I've been out across Kent. We've got other elections coming up over the next period before that in early May. And I've been speaking to residents there. And what I've heard, actually, people aren't talking about leaders of parties or Brexit particularly. They're talking about bread and butter issues like education, like health, like the state of our roads.
At the last election, we saw the Labour Party do pretty poorly, frankly, not even coming second in a lot of jurisdictions. What kind of impact can Labour make in Kent this time round? Look,
we've seen historically across Kent, when we have a Labour government, we have MPs here in Kent. That's really critical. The only way Jeremy Corbyn will be elected as our Prime Minister is if we're winning in places like Medway, Thanet, Dover, Gravesham and Dartford. We've got to win in those places to form the next government.
Well, that's what Vince thinks, but we've also been asking the people of Kent what they think about Theresa May's decision.
Very surprised. I thought the Prime Minister would
uncertainty in Parliament at the moment, where the Scottish Nasty Party, Labour and the Liberals are really trying to scupper the Brexit deal.
I think she's got some good policies. I think that she's the best leadership we've got at the minute. And I think that she will get the best deal that she can.
It'll give her more sort of status, you know, for being you know, the Prime Minister, because she wasn't elected, was she, in the first place?
Brexit isn't happening how people want Brexit to happen. It's becoming a really hard Brexit. We need to sort of more have a referendum on that than who should be in power.
In the last couple of hours, parents across Kent have been finding out if their children have got a place at their chosen primary schools for September. They've been logging on since 5 o'clock this evening to get their results. It's been a record year for the county, with 97% of children being offered places in their top 3 school choices. That's a 2% improvement in places allocated compared to 2016. For more information on how to join a waiting list or appeal, go to the Kent Primary School Admissions website. Next this evening, a man's been charged with assault after a Kent bank was forced to close following a disturbance. A Lloyds branch in Gravesend's New Road was closed on Thursday afternoon following the incident where a man was allegedly restrained with pepper spray. 29-year-old Simon Hawkins has been charged with 2 counts of common assault and 1 count of criminal damage. He's been bailed until next month. Police are still investigating what caused a fire at a pub in Margate. Firefighters and officers were called to the Holly Tree pub just before 9 on Saturday. Flames started in the roof and ripped through the building, causing road closures, and nearby residents had to close all their doors and windows. Emergency services didn't leave the scene until after 9 o'clock in the evening. And finally, 2 brothers from Kent have given James Corden a run for his money, as a video of them performing a carpool karaoke has got almost 30,000 views. Billy from Canada Ed Sheeran's Shape of You, which has been shared on Facebook more than 200 times. And before we go, don't forget to catch the latest episode of Chris & Co. Joining our business editor Chris Price is the Freight Transport Association's Natalie Chapman. They've been discussing the proposed route of the Lower Thames crossing.
Are Kent's roads going to be able to cope in the intervening time until this crossing actually comes into being?
Well, this is a challenge. In a way, the new crossing, the new capacity can't come too soon. But of course, these big infrastructure projects take a long time in the planning. And it's important that it's planned right, that we plan it for the future, so that we don't have to then sort of start digging the road up again and widening it and making it and amending it. So making sure we get it right from the beginning is important.
And just before we go, here's Laura with the weather.
There'll be cloud across the county tonight, with the warmest part of Kent being Dover, reaching highs of 6 degrees. Tomorrow morning, temperatures will be mild, with lows of 10 in Ashford, and the rest of the county is not going to be feeling much warmer. Into the afternoon, the temperatures will feel roughly the same, though the sun will come out in Folkestone. There'll also be highs of 12 degrees in Chatham.
Well, that's it from us this evening. We'll be back again tomorrow with all the latest stories from across your county. In fact, tomorrow we'll be outside Parliament getting all the news about the vote tomorrow. So make sure you catch up on Kent Online and to watch our bulletin tomorrow evening. In the meantime, don't forget you can always keep up to date by listening to KMFM or logging on to kentonline.co.uk. But that's it from us this evening. Have a wonderful evening. Catch us tomorrow. Good night.